And welcome back to Sports Weekly on IEMG. It is always a great time to talk high school football. We love football here on Sports Weekly, and we're already looking ahead to the 2026 season. Now, last week on Sports Weekly, we talked about the new Valley Conference, the River Valley League and the Mountain Valley League, and Big Bear getting together to create a new Valley Conference with two leagues for football. And Indian Springs, though, they are not going to move with the Mountain Valley League to this new Valley Conference. Instead, Coach Marcus Williams and the Coyotes will make the jump from the Mountain Valley League to the Arrowhead Athletic Conference next season. They will be in the Skyline League next year, so that will be a big change. And the Coyotes already releasing their 2026 schedule, and it looks a little bit different now that they won't be a Mountain Valley League school or making that jump to the Valley Conference like the other MVL squads. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 2026 slate for the Coyotes. And here it is. They're going to open up on the road at Montclair, and then another road game as they will take on Indio. Then on September 3rd, it will be the home opener for the Coyotes. They will take on Santa Rosa Academy from Menifee. Then they're home against Little Rock and Citrus Hill before they hit that bye week to go into league play in the new Skyline League. Got some great ones lined up at San Gorgonio, home for Carter, at Arroyo Valley versus Fontana, and they will wrap things up on the road at Bloomington. That's a tough schedule. That's a great schedule for the Coyotes. It's going to be tough there in the Skyline League. We're excited to see what Indian Springs is going to do in 2026. And next week on Sports Weekly, we'll take a look at another local team. Again, several local teams already putting out their schedule. We've taken a look at Aquinas already, Pacific. I know Cajon and Arroyo Valley, they're on deck. We're going to talk about their schedules on a future Sports Weekly, probably as early as next week. So getting excited for 2026. Now, the NFL Draft is coming up later this week, and we have got a couple guys with ties back to the city of San Bernardino. Let's start with Francis Mauigoa, the big-time offensive lineman for the Miami Hurricanes. He was part of that Aquinas football team that won a CIF Southern Section Championship back in 2019. And they went all the way to the state finals actually that year. He was just a freshman on that Aquinas team, but that really catapulted him into his football career. So he's going to be picked probably at least in the top 10 overall, maybe even in the top 5. We're talking about Jaden Daniels' status for Francis Mauigoa of the Miami Hurricanes and the Aquinas Falcons. Now, Francis could make some history along with his brother, because his brother, Francisco Mauigoa, seen right here, he plays for the New York Jets. He was actually the first Aquinas player to ever make it to the NFL, and he did it just last season, getting drafted by the Jets. So we already have Francisco, a.k.a. Kiko Mauigoa in the NFL with the Jets, and now his brother, Francis Mauigoa, will likely join him later this week in the NFL Draft. In fact, he will. He is going to get selected to the NFL Draft. How high? That is the question. Maybe as high as the top 5, which is going to be huge for Francis Mauigoa. So the Mauigoa brothers from Aquinas High School will both be in the NFL by the end of this week. And we got another guy with San Bernardino ties. That is David Gusta. He started his high school career at Grand Terrace High School. He finished up at Cajon High School, had a big year for the Cowboys in that weird shortened COVID season. But the former Cajon Cowboy is also hoping to hear his name in the NFL Draft. He played at Washington State and then transferred to the Kentucky Wildcats. And David Gusta had a big NFL combine, very athletic, very strong. And even though he's a big, strong guy, a big, strong football player, David Gusta says at heart he's just a big nerd. He loves painting figurines. He plays Scrabble with his grandmother. He says he's just a big nerd, but he loves football. He gave this classic soundbite about what he likes to do when he's not on the football field.
And like the pressure doesn't really get to me because it might sound crazy, but I'm more of a nerd who was born athletic. So like people talk about pressure. Like after I'm done with football, I literally go home and like paint my figurines, and then I play Scrabble with my grandma. and then, so we just do that. I do Warhammer, and then I do a whole bunch of other ones. Like I do like D&D figurines. I sell them, and so that's just my hobby. It's actually funny because last year I tried to learn the piano. It was not happening. Like my fingers don't bend the way that I want them to bend no more. And then but as my figurines, I've been doing since I was like a little kid. And then so I collect them. I went to Japan. I spent maybe a little too much on them, a little too much, and my wife was not very happy. But overall, I could definitely get it done.
Well, Gusta really turned heads at the NFL Combine, just how fast and how strong he was. Hoping to hear his name called at the NFL Draft as well. All right, we go from college football now to college baseball as we wrap up this segment. San Bernardino Valley College trying to get into the postseason. The Wolverines taking on Barstow College in Inland Empire Athletic Conference play. And the Wolverines are right there in the hunt for a playoff spot with only a couple games left. Gama Martinez knocks in Jeremiah Acosta for a run there for SBVC. And then later it's going to be Adrian Diaz with the Wolverines up by 6, 8-2 ball game. Diaz brings home Will Van Dyke. Base hit, RBI. The run's going to score. SBVC goes on to win by a final score of 14-3. Big win against Barstow. So the Wolverines, right now, they are 19-19 overall on the season. In conference play, they are 13-9, and they've only got a couple games left this week. They're trying to get into the postseason. It's going to be close. They need to get some big wins this week, including a huge head-to-head matchup against a very talented College of the Desert team. All right, that's going to do it for Sports Weekly. Make sure you give this video a like, and if you haven't done so already, hit subscribe on the Inland Empire Media Group YouTube channel. My name is Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next time on Sports Weekly on IEMG.